everything.
Oh, God!
Steve.
Oh!
I will begin my quest.
Oh! Oh! What is like? Hey dabbers, and welcome back to another Dab 2000 video and another ranking video. I haven't done a ranking video in a while. Junior's here with me. He's in the back behind you guys. He's not saying anything. Junior?
Yes.
You there, right?
No.
He's behind all these Legos in front of me. These Legos. Alright, but today I am going to be ranking the SonyVerse films. So this includes the Venom trilogy, Madam Web, and Morbius.
They're all buns.
So they are. So I'm gonna rank all 5 of them, and yeah, there's not really like a overwhelmingly like great one. They're all mediocre, and most of them are terrible. So, yeah, this is gonna be a pretty interesting ranking because all these movies are not the best, but I'm doing it so you guys can have a video out today, and you can see more on my channel. What are you looking at, Junior?
They're all buns.
They are. Alright, let's get started. Coming in at number 5, I have Madam Web. I think this is the worst thing the SonyVerse has ever done. Basically this franchise is
Buns.
the Spider-Man villains without Spider-Man. That's basically what they are, because they're all basically villains of Spider-Man, but they're just with no Spider-Man. This is trying to be an origin movie of the Spider-Girls, but they didn't show us who the Spider-Girls were in another movie, so we get the origin of a movie we didn't even ask for. I mean, it's so weird. There's some weird scenes where, like, I think this is, like, one of the worst scenes ever, when the villain is on the car, or the ambulance, on the car, and then Madam Web drives the truck to the villain, and the villain jumps in front of the car.
Yeah.
He jumps in front of it so he could get hit. That's how bad this movie is. And then the villain's lines don't even match what he's saying in that scene. So everything... Yeah, any scene. They literally, like, dubbed over his voice in the movie. The script is horrible. Like Madam Web, our main character, is unlikable. I do not like her at all in this movie, and all the characters are just bland and forgettable. And this movie is literally one of the worst superhero movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It's really bad.
Buns.
It's buns. Junior's probably going to say that for every single one, that it's buns. Alright, coming in at number 4, I have Morbius. I haven't really talked about Morbius on my channel, but I don't like it too. I think it's a little better than Madam Web. I think Madam Web is an abomination. Morbius is kind of straightforward. It has a decent plot. Like, it's not really... But it's just so generic, and it doesn't do anything new. It literally follows the superhero format straight through and does not do anything interesting. From the trailers, it looks like it's going to be a little scary, a little spooky. It's not at all. It's literally... They do nothing with that. And then the end credit scene with the Vulture makes no sense at all. Did you watch this movie, Junior?
No.
You didn't?
No.
I thought you did.
I was in the room, but not watching.
It's another Buns movie.
What can I tell you?
It's just not good. Alright, coming in at number 3, I have Venom. And Venom is... This is the first movie in the Venom trilogy. So this is basically why I'm making this video, is because Venom: The Last Dance just came out in theaters. So that's why I'm ranking all these movies. But I feel like this is a horrible start to the SonyVerse franchise. I don't really like this film. The only good part is Tom Hardy as Venom. I think that's basically the only good part. But, like, the villain is not great. It's just literally a symbiote dude that's not really, like, it's not Carnage, it's not Toxin, it's not Lasher, it's not like any of the big like symbiotes. It's literally just a gray symbiote. So it's weird. And also, I just feel like this film is kind of gross. Like, they do a lot of gross stuff in this film, like when Eddie Brock goes into the lobster cage, like the lobster thing, and just eats a lobster. It's just like a live lobster. It's just gross. Something about this film is just unsettling to me. Alright, coming in at number 2, I have Venom: The Last Dance. This is the newest one that just came out in theaters. In my short, I said this was the best in the Venom, in the SonyVerse franchise, but I kind of changed my mind. I think, well, if you process elimination, you probably know what's at number 1, but I feel like this one is fun enough. The story is very messy with, like, him going on a road trip, then going to, like, a casino place, and then doing the Knoll stuff and all that, the symbiote stuff, and then having, well, spoiler warning if you haven't seen Venom and Let There Be Carnage, but also having the sacrifice of Venom in this movie. It's just a lot. It's just really messy. Like, it's just all over the place, and that's why this film is not the best. But it is fun. I will give it that. Like, Venom on a horse. Eddie on a horse, and then it's a venomized horse. It's just fun to watch. And then some of the action scenes are cool. And then the Venom stuff at the very end is cool and stuff. But, like, something that Junior, like, the scientist girl that, like, you mentioned this to me, right, Junior?
What?
The scientist girl didn't have a hand?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
She didn't at the end.
I feel like they didn't explain that at all. I feel like her character plot makes no sense at all. And then she gets a symbiote at the very end where she can run really fast, which is not developed at all. We don't even know who this is, and we'll probably never see her again. But, yeah, and then there's also a bunch of symbiotes that are underdeveloped. There's Junior. And then the villain in this movie, like Knoll, it's cool. I know they're setting him up for something bigger. My guess is Spider-Man 4. But I hope it's Spider-Man 4 street level, but I'm not 100% sure. But they barely show him, and then they made the bounty hunter symbiote the main person, which was kind of weird, but yeah. And then, like, Venom actually, like, I remember on the podcast, me and Junior were like, why is this movie called The Last Dance? It's because Venom dances in the movie.
Yeah, he does.
Like, that's literally the only reason why they titled this movie, I feel like. Anyway, it's just meh. But coming in at number 1, I have Venom: Let There Be Carnage. I think this is the best of the SonyVerse films, but honestly, I feel like Venom: Let There Be Carnage and Venom: The Last Dance are tied for number 1.
They're all buns.
Because the highest rating I've gave these movies is like a 6.
They're all buns.
So, like, it's not good. I like this one What?
They are all buns.
Yeah, but, like, I like this one the most. It's because the villain is actually a very well-known villain as Carnage, because Carnage is way well-known than these other symbiotes that we got, except for Venom. But
And
Knoll is not as known to the public. If you're, like, a deep comic book nerd and, like, love, like, Marvel stuff, you know who Knoll is, but for the general public, you don't really know who Knoll is. But Carnage, I feel like a lot of people know who Carnage is. This one still has problems like Last Dance, which, like, Venom and Eddie split up in this entire movie until the very end. That's why I kind of don't like this movie, is because we don't get the bromance between Eddie and Venom that much in this movie. And
they're all buns.
You said that 15 times! But, yeah, I mean, it's not really, like, a great win like any others, like my MCU rankings, where, like, there's a definitely number 1. And what are you doing? Okay, that's it. So, yeah, it's fine, but it's very flawed. So, that is my ranking of the SonyVerse films. All in all, a pretty disappointing and one of the worst franchises out there.
They're all buns.
But
let's get that on record, guys.
But I guess, like, I had to rank them at some point, so might as well now. So what What is your ranking of the SonyVerse movies? Down below in the comment section. And
They're all buns. That's all I have to say.
can I just say, let me ask you one thing. I'm not going to ask for your ranking, but which one's your favorite?
I don't think I have.
Exactly, because it's that
They're
bad.
all tied up buns.
They're all tied at buns. I will check you guys on another Dab 2000 video and another ranking. Goodbye, Dabbers.